Hey guys, just want to touch base with you today. Decided to get the RC51 out, being that now, officially, this is my only bike. I've gotten rid of everything else that you've seen in the fleet. Obviously the Super Duke 1290R was gone a while ago, and then I mentioned a few weeks ago while riding the Ninja that the Gixxer was gone. Well, now the Ninja is gone as well as of last week. So that leaves me with just this bike. It started out with just this bike, meaning my ride enthusiasm once I had the accident. So once I had the accident, I didn't ride for a while until then I got back into riding, started back with this guy. And this has been a bike that I've always wanted, as I mentioned before. And it's just a beautiful bike. And everywhere I go on it, people are always checking it out. I pulled up to the dealership where I've bought all my previous bikes, including this one, which is Irv Seaver. And everybody just ran out. Hey, dude, what's going on with that bike? Are you trading it? I'm like, no, I'm just stopping in for a donut. But I got it out today. I got to ride it. I really wanted to check it out. I haven't ridden it in any great detail or on any, sort of limits since I bought it. And so I just want to refamiliarize myself with it and just sort of, just kind of understand the way that it works. It's a bigger bike, heavier bike for a sport bike in this era. And it does take a little bit more muscling to get it to move around. But man, once you get it dialed in, it's fantastic. I discovered something new today that I never noticed any other time riding it. And probably the reason because I've had so many other options that I just never spent enough time learning all the nuances of this bike. This bike has got more power than I thought it did. And tapping into it requires a little bit extra input. And what I mean by that is if you twist the throttle, being that it's a V-twin, it immediately takes off. But when you twist the throttle just past noon, 12 o'clock mark, then it takes off even more. It's like it kicks in some secondary sort of boost or something. I was on the expressway, freeway, and I did that to get over, and the thing shot off so quick, and I was like, wow, I've never really explored this bike yet. So what I'm getting at is that I'm gonna be taking a lot more time to really understand what this thing really has to offer. The thing is that this bike is not your run-of-the-mill RC51. The guy that owned it before I picked it up went to great detail to make it a more track-focused bike. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm talking about here. So if you look, these guys are aftermarket, meaning the rear sets, and they're really quite high. As I mentioned on a video before, they really put your legs way up. My legs are bent below 15 degrees when I'm riding it. This also has a quick shifter on it. For a 2000 model year bike, that was pretty groundbreaking. Bikes just didn't have the electronics for that. Well, having the power commander on it, it's programmed for this. And this thing actually works. It's not as easy as a lot of the newer bikes, meaning that you can just kind of kick it up, kick it down. You do have to kind of take some pressure off the flywheel for it to engage, but it's still pretty quick. So it works fairly well. Everything has a locking wire. So if you look around, everything here has this wiring through it to make sure that nothing comes off. All the way around. So basically, he was just securing everything down so that when you're on the track, you gotta worry about any bits falling off. That was pretty smart. He actually took the horn off. I had to put a new horn on. I should have videoed that because that was a huge undertaking, just getting all the wiring to work, because I had to wire it back into this switch, and I thought maybe the switch was broken. But yeah, anyway, that took a couple hours. Has a great horn now. You just kind of hear it. If you're in my way, move your ass. So anyway, yeah, just wanted to give you an update, man. So I'm down to one bike. It's a bike I do still quite enjoy. And for me, it's a trophy piece. I mean, just look at this thing. I mean, it looks mean. And I like that. Sounds even meaner. You fire it up. Pretty aggressive. So stay tuned. We'll do a little bit more about this bike, and got some other stuff coming up. I just talked to my my colleague, and a lot of new bikes coming out of the BMW shop, so I'd like to see what that's going to be about. I just rode a new 1250 GS a few minutes ago. I'm not saying anything. Till next time. Peace.